Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Sunless Skies. So, my plan was to just head up to Hybris, because we have, where's my journal? We have a number of things that we need to do in Hybris, right? But, given the way our hold looks right now, and the fact that we all of a sudden have way more savage secrets than we need, yeah, we're at 12 all of a sudden, I think maybe we ought to head back to New Winchester, offload some of these trade goods, move our ambition forward a little bit, and then we'll see about heading back up to Hybris. Can you tell I'm really not eager to get back there? So I saw in the comments, it seems like there's really not a term for the style of the thing that Americans call biscuits in Britain, which I think is kind of weird, but I guess you guys just don't eat them? I gotta say, that's like the number one thing I would recommend if you are a person who comes to visit America. Like, try to get a hold of some proper biscuits. You can get, like, a sausage biscuit from McDonald's or whatever. That's not a great example. Like, try to find a soul food place or a barbecue place, maybe, and get a proper biscuit. That's, like, the number one American food that I think people should try, because they're amazing. They're just absolutely wonderful. I can understand if visiting America is not exactly on the top of anybody's list right now. Oh, we'll have to jettison something here. Well, oh, we found a crate of munitions, because we had 3 before, didn't we? Well, I hate to do this, but it's probably... So its supplies are fuel, right? Because we're not going to use this, but this will sell for like 50 sovereigns or something. We actually need Chorister Nectar, and also Chorister Nectar's worth a lot of money. Yeah, I think it might be a crate of supplies, because we're headed back to... You know what? It's a fuel. It's fuel, because fuel, we burn it so slowly. Ow, so we did get a good thing, and then we immediately got attacked by a starved-minded explorer. He's trying to get me to stop talking about biscuits. He's trying to hide the truth from you, dear, gentle viewers, but I will not allow this. Also, he's got one of these shotguns, so I'm going to be a little cautious here. Oh, I managed to miss somehow. No! Bad, 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 bad. Oh, God. We need to, like, actually run, I think. The Star-Maddened Explorer trains, or their locomotives, seem to be pretty fast, but also it seems like he's having some trouble controlling it. Please, please tell me this is points of hull. What was I talking about? Biscuits. Oh, thank God. You know what? In that case, hold on, I'm going to turn around here. We're going to kill this explorer. His locomotive was already smoking pretty badly. I figured we could just, like, take some pot shots at this range. Ah. Okay, he probably took some damage there. Oh, he definitely took some damage there. Yes. Okay. It was really lucky that we found some hull right at that moment. And we are definitely... we are not able to scavenge his thing for hull. Well, I think we're actually okay on crew. Let's just loot his hold. Oh, except at my... Right. Oh, it didn't... Huh. Weren't we at 16 spaces in our hold? Oh, you know what? We started a new crate of supplies. We opened up one of the crates of supplies between the last time we jettisoned things and now, so actually we're okay. But yeah, biscuits. Like a barbecue or a soul food place. Get you some proper biscuits. You know, biscuits and gravy is very common. You don't have to have gravy, but I love biscuits. I also love... Now we're just talking. Now it's just SB's reminiscences about American food. Another good piece of American food that I think people should try if they have the opportunity to do so is Detroit-style pizza. It is absolutely the best. I don't know if it's a thing that you can get outside of the Detroit area. You know, sometimes you'll hear people, like, hosts on a podcast or characters in media talking about pizza, and they'll talk about, like, Chicago-style or New York-style, which are, like, the two really common ones. I don't think I've ever heard anybody not from here talk about Detroit pizza. But it's different, and it's extremely good. It's like rectangular, and it's a kind of deep dish, but it's cooked a little differently. The story goes that it's rectangular because it's made in spare parts trays from the auto factories, which I guess is believable, but also like a lot of our weird bits of local lore have to do with the car companies, so it's also a thing that totally could be made up here. It's a little bit less true now, but there was definitely a period not that long ago when basically everything in Southeast Michigan was either directly for the car. Like if you lived in Southeast Michigan, you worked for the car companies, or you worked for a company that was providing support industry for the car companies, like keeping the people who do work at the car companies fed and housed, or stuff like that. All right, let's turn some stuff in. Actually, nah, never mind. I was gonna say maybe we should go turn in the port reports first, so that we have money to play with. But I think we actually are okay on cash, or we will be once we sell off some of this stuff we have. So let's head over to the bazaar. Here, sorry, I want Abraham's engineering. Yeah, here's where we would sell off our extra cannon. 100 sovereigns. That's actually fantastic. Okay, and then at the Victoria Market, so we have use for 5 crates of munitions, right? I actually do want 5. Where was that? What was that quest for? Boy. Now I don't remember. We have so many things going. Oh, it's not one of these. It's one of my prospects. Yes. We must deliver this to Prosper. Okay. To the northwest of New Winchester. We must have seen Prosper. Also, apparently I only need to deliver 3 of them, so let's sell 2 of them so we can reclaim some space here. Okay, we don't have any of the literature. We don't have any more barrels of ores, although we are mining ores currently. And we don't have any stained glass. We want the Chorister nectar. We need 1 nectar and 1 bronze wood for that thing, the clock. Yes. And then we haven't spoken to our devil a lot recently. But we needed some honey for... Yeah, I would like some honey and some tea. I need tea. Also, why don't we ask him about the state of our soul real quick here? Your soul, he lies, is magnificent. I have studied the souls of men and of angels. I have extracted the penitence of saints. I have removed the knowledge lust from an astronomer through a borehole in the back of his head. I have seethed a crown princess's sister in mare's milk until there was no more jealousy in her. But I have never known a soul to equal yours. Okay, that was probably supposed to be comforting. I'm actually real creeped out. So we gotta find some tea if we want to move stuff on here. Ask him about his memories of Caduceus. We need to have actually been there ourselves. Or we could show him a bee, if we captured a live bee. Okay. She is trying to go to Perdurance, right? Am I remembering this correctly? Journal? Yes, so she's trying to go to Perdurance. We have a couple of things that need us to go to Perdurance. And we know something now. So I mentioned last time that I got an achievement when we hit Lustrum. Well, it turns out that achievement was for finding all of the ports in the Reach. So, due to a little bit of out-of-game knowledge that we really shouldn't have, we know that Perdurance isn't on this map. We're going to have to go through the gate over toward London to find it. I'm not sure how to feel about that. I feel a little bit like there are things I shouldn't know until I've actually discovered them, and it's a little bit of a bummer that the achievement system is giving out information that we don't technically know. But I guess it's part of the game. The developers put that achievement in. It's not like Valve did that against their will. So I guess they're fine with that information reaching you in that way. It just feels a little strange. Yeah, so I guess we need to go to Perdurance. What was I even trying to remember? At this point, I don't remember what I was looking for. So we can sell off we can sell off 2 of this nectar, though, totally safely, and still have the one for the quest plus the one for tea. Let's re-dock here, head back to the Victoria Market, sell off 2 gourds of Chorister nectar, which is going to make us a pretty penny indeed, with which we can resupply a little bit. This would take us up to only 3 spaces free. And then I kind of want to buy another point of supplies as well. Yeah, alright. Now I feel very well set. We still are nowhere near a new train. I don't think I want to dump anything in storage. Like, we want to actually deliver a lot of this stuff. We just need to find a source of tea. A reliable source of tea. Alright, investigate the black box. Here we go. Follow your ambition. We have some movement on our ambition. The second canto caught the public's eye. The third must somehow live up to its predecessor. No contemplation, no procrastination, no hours of prolonged hesitation. Not this time. Your story catches you like a fever, and your fingers whirl so fast you threaten to tangle your typewriter's keys. So... Alright, we still even have a vision of the heavens and a whole lot of savage secrets in case we need them. I feel like we're doing pretty well here. A pause in your fevered typing. Before you write any further, you must make a decision. Are you depicting your actions as purely heroic, or are you going to be honest? You know, I think it'll make a much better story if we're honest. It's not just honesty that compels you to tell the truth. This will make for a better story, a captain of many shades, a mirror reflecting both light and dark. Hopefully it won't cause you too many legal problems. Well, remember, this is not actually my story, right? You stare at the half-empty page in panic. For a moment, you fear you've lost your terrible momentum. But then the story catches you in its arms again, and you are a golem, a conduit, a ghost, desperate to relay its final message. You write until your fingers are blistered, until the ending catches you by surprise. You recline, sweat-drenched. Wow, you're really tearing up the page there. The third canto is complete. When you take the third canto to the Omnivorous Publisher, he scans it with an empty grin before handing it to one of his assistants. How long has he had assistants? Another masterpiece, he says. You never cease to amaze. Okay, well, publish it. Seems like he's doing very well off of our back here. The Omnivorous Publisher's assistants flit around the printing press like tiny fish around the jaws of a shark. He sits back and pours himself a whiskey. Yeah, we have definitely improved his station. The excited speculation around the second canto had only just begun to die down, and now vendors selling the third canto find themselves mobbed by small, eager crowds whose zeal has been reawakened. Over the next few days, you spot citizens of all stripes reading your pamphlet, from a vagrant under a bridge to a monocled aristocrat. A journalist interviews you, and any suspicion of his hostility evaporates when he starts stammering his admiration of your work. All the newspapers heap praise. For weeks, you're the toast of New Winchester's coffee shops and bookstores and other bastions of culture. The Song of the Sky looms in your mind, an unfinished monument. Really, I think we're doing very well here. So in order to write the fourth canto of the Song of the Sky, we will need a momentous exploit, a new one. Your previous typewriter died an ignoble death under your hammering fingers, and you've had to procure a new one. Alright, let's speak with our publisher before we do anything else, though. The publisher leans back amid a halo of smoke. Imagine I'm the average man on the street, by which I mean a Philistine of the lowest order. What have you done lately to capture my attention? Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to move something up here. Sorry, you're the savior of the sun? That seems grand. You've undertaken the well rites? You've tamed time. Oh man, we really have to step it up here. Or we could just become a member of parliament, which seems like a lot less impressive than the other stuff here. Well, you are the enemy of the gods. You've earned the divine wrath of all the sky gods at once. Okay, we have some mighty ambitions to fulfill here before we can move this any further forward. Let's go ahead and cap off our locomotive. We definitely need to do that. Yeah, that is money well spent right there. Skullduggery at Port Avon, yes, so I've heard. Let's investigate the rumors, now that we have a little bit of rumor to trade for them. What could anyone want with some moldering old stones? The Gazette has little of concrete use. Rumors of this or that criminal spied in the ruins, a particularly lurid theory about sacrificing company officials to unmentionable powers. If you want to find out what's really going on, you'll have to go to Port Avon. And we have one more gossip that we could trade them for the ability to go check out the ruins. We might do that before we head to Hybris, just because we could acquire a port report for Port Avon, and then swing up to the Tackety Victory Hall on our way to Hybris. And at some point we gotta go back to Magdalen's, but I think that comes after Hybris. Alright, well, in that case, I think we're just, like, ready to go, right? What are my prospects again? This is going to Prosper, which is kind of on the way to Hybris. At least Hybris and Prosper are not too far apart, right? Well, I mean, we had to go to Port Prosper to leave anyway, so I guess I don't need to be in a hurry to do that. Maybe we, like, go to Port Avon and then swing around through Magdalen's to Hybris? We should probably try to see if there's a way to reach Hybris from the east. So maybe we, do something like this. Because I really don't want to have to go past the giant, terrifying horror every single time. But yeah, this'll do. This'll do for now. Oh, I leveled up. Advancing the ambition is a great source of XP. Okay, so what makes sense to unveil from our character's past now? We don't really know anything about our family. Steam and soot. I mean, I've been driving the train for a little while now, and somehow I got to be on this train. I guess that might be a thing in our past that's worth exploring. Yeah, let's talk about our history in train driving. You spent much of your time at the engine yards, watching locomotives being built, repaired, and decommissioned. They were iron behemoths, their bones steel, their breath steam, their innards intricate as a pocket watch. How did you spend your time among them? Okay, so I'm thinking maybe this is after we got out of the facility, and or the prison. And you know, maybe I was talking about how I haven't sort of figured out the timeline of our character's story, whether we went to prison or that mental facility first. Maybe it was the same thing. Maybe it being described as a prison is really more of our character's view of the experience that they had in the facility. So we got out of there, and then we had to try to do something to sort of like... You had to find something to occupy your mind, right? We're trying to get away from the things that sort of drove us mad, but our character's very inquisitive, so it would have to be something intricate, complicated, maybe technical. So maybe we got really into trains as a way of, like, diverting our natural curiosity into something that at least appears to not be the sort of thing we ought to go to jail for. So were we eavesdropping on Skyfarer's stories or learning how the engines worked? This is way more us. You appropriated a workbench and tools and set to work, dismantling obscure machinery and putting it back together again. Plus, this gives us a better idea of how we got onto the train in the first place, right? If we were useful in a technical capacity and hanging around the train yards all the time, that could be how the previous captain found us and decided we should come aboard. I like that a lot. That's a good story beat. Okay. How am I going? I hear engines. It's probably just a Tackety scout or something. If we see a dreadnought, we will at least consider trying to kill it. If we encounter some Tacketies fighting a dreadnought, we will definitely try to help them. Okay, we can go under Scamp's Narrow and then to the southwest. So I think we're going to be doing a lot of flying from place to place here, it looks like. Actually, you know what I just realized? I don't know which port reports we have. Okay, just Carillon and Lustrum, so we do not have an Avon report. Hey, how you doing? Do not crash into me. He's trying to crash into me. The UCE Unmitigated Temerity. That's a really good name for a ship. And it's the kind of name that's going to get you in a lot of trouble, but it's really good. It's probably worth the trouble. One day I hope to have unmitigated temerity. At present, I feel like my temerity is extremely mitigated. I might describe myself as just very self-mitigating in general. Okay, it probably actually is a little bit shorter to go around the bottom side of this. And we do still need to finish picking up trophies for the hunting society. But I'm not too worried about... Like, we need a scribe ghost thing. Scribe spinster? Is that what it was? That doesn't sound right. But we need a trophy from one of those ghost things. That's going to be the hardest one to acquire. So I think I won't worry about the other trophy we need until we have that one. Green, unlikely scent of apples. You know, I feel like I haven't had an apple in a long time. I guess it's winter. That sort of makes sense. A quiet day in Port Avon. Let's, honestly, I don't know if we need the fuel. Let's play around a cricket. We could use a little terror reduction. Oh wow, that was a significant amount, in fact. Nobody seems to remember how long this game has been going on. We're all just playing. We're all just continuing to play. Alright, so we need to go to the port. We need to share a little bit of exotic gossip with the locals. Give ourselves a little bit of welcome here. Ah, that's right. Doing a report does lower your welcome. Well, let's go to the Cyclopean ruins first. Maybe we end up not writing a report this time, because we have stuff to do. So we could enjoy the picturesque surroundings and acquire for ourselves a vision of the heavens. But I think we want to investigate the rumors of Tacides in the ruins, right? We could attempt to conduct a nocturnal excavation of our own, but that is not super likely to work. Yeah, let's just have a look here. You wait until the sky is dark and the distant stars have dimmed before making your way to the ruins. You go alone, bearing only a shuttered lantern. Dust rises underfoot as you tread along shadowed halls, greater and gloomier than the manors of old London. Through gaps between stones, narrower than the inside of a coffin. Voices grow near, voices, and a rich, resplendent light. The luminous glow of brilliant souls mined from the ruins infects this hidden habitation with radiance. A group of heavy-set men and women in hobnail boots are just ahead. They are intent not on the deposits of souls, but on the hollows amidst the stones, where they are busy burying caches of munitions. A crunch of stone behind you, a beam of lantern light. The burly MacDonald brothers have followed you in. Well, I could warn them that if they're discovered, they'll be booted off the port. Or I can assist the MacDonalds. No, we're not doing this. I'm not stopping the Tacides. Let's warn them. We picked a side a long time ago. You rush into the breach, startling the illegal miners. A chorus of surprise and alarm greets your sudden entrance, but there's no time for questions. You convince the leader, a hard-bitten ex-prospector, to lead her men out through an alternate escape route blasted into the ruins. You cut an expensive deal and stay behind to tell the MacDonalds that you were on a nighttime stroll when you stumbled on a cave-in. They're more than happy to believe in the stupidity of outsiders. The Tacides will be back for their weapons in the future, but next time they'll be more careful about it. Okay, well, I honestly might have been willing to do that for free, but I appreciate the 100 sovereigns. Also, we are esteemed, and, yeah. Okay, that worked out pretty well, actually. Help the Tacides cover up their illegality. We are definitely tipping the war in their favor. So I saw that one of the deeds of consequence that we could do was become the hero of the Tacides. I wonder if that's as simple as getting to 100 favor with them. So let us, I guess, just write the port report, right? That's how we use the other point of welcome that we have. Okay, and we are out now, I think. Oh no, we're actually not. Well, we could drop the rest of our terror. Or we could just have a point of welcome and come back later. That's probably what we'll do. I think we did what we needed to do here. At the bazaar, they're selling bronze wood, which we don't really need. They're also selling undistinguished souls, but just one. Oh no, actually, we can just buy as many as we want. Well, what was my... Oh, this is for hours, not souls. Never mind. Okay. I think we got what we needed out of that. I wonder how things will change if we manage to advance the cause of the Tacides enough. Like, will there actually be changes to the sort of like the little plots of the area if the Tacides have full control? So I guess we're gonna like swing through here. Oh, something to crave. Hold on. We sense something at the edge of the light. It could be eels, which would be pretty good for us. That's a fairly small amount of fuel to trade for a single... oh, I just got another achievement for some reason. a small amount of fuel to trade for a whole crate of supplies. You know, there is a remarkable amount of the map still covered, and also we never actually did figure out where that well is that the incautious driver was looking for. Oh, is this... yeah, this is all... an abandoned homestead. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's just have ourselves a look around. The house had already been plundered, but the plunderers missed the patch of turned earth beside the back door. Settlers buried their valuables here, presumably intending to return. And then I took them, and I did not have the option of not taking them. You see me hesitate there as I tried to remember which button was going to send me in which direction? It's really, really easy when I'm facing upward or mostly upward, and if I'm facing downward, I have to think about it real hard. Yeah, we'll worry about that well stuff later. We have a lot of business to attend to at the moment, so we're just going to attend to it. We have things to turn in and horrible, horrible fungus monsters, presumably, to encounter. I do not like Hybris. I really don't want to go back there. Alright, so we're just going to loop around here and then turn north as soon as we can. And in the meantime, we have more relaxing, slow-paced flight time, during which I could talk about delicious food. I'm actually very hungry now. I should maybe have thought of the consequences of discussing pizza. Am I in the right... okay, yes, I am in the right thing. You know what else I think of as being pretty American, that is absolutely worth trying, if you ever visit America, is proper barbecue. The word barbecue gets thrown around a lot, and people use it to mean a lot of things. I know that they use the word barbecue in Britain to mean something pretty different than what it means here. I think it basically just means grilling, I think. But like proper American-style barbecue is a much longer process. Here's the easy method of deduction you can use. If it took less than 4 hours to prepare your food, it wasn't barbecue. It's like you don't directly heat the meat almost at all. You basically like cook wood chips, and the wood chips produce smoke, as they will when heated, and the heat cooks the meat. So it takes a really long time, because it's a very inefficient way to direct heat to something, but because it cooks it so slowly, it comes out quite a bit different. And absolutely worth the effort to track it down if you have the opportunity. I think this is still going to be quite a long trip. That's all the words I have to say about barbecue. There are definitely people in America who take the concept of barbecue very seriously. You should listen to them. If you're looking for barbecue and you can find such a person, a barbecue crazed person, listen to their advice, because some people really know what they're talking about. I am definitely an amateur in this field. All right. Well, stop at Magdalene's. You're very impertinent, but I'm choosing to allow it. Mostly because we were already going to stop here. And we don't even really need to purchase their services this time. Alright, so the very first thing we're going to do here, obviously, is write ourselves a report. Magdalene's is abuzz with activity. It turns out to be the same activity as usual, I think? Yeah, looks like. Alright. So, let us deliver these previously impounded goods, get them off our ship, and get paid. A nurse from Magdalene's opens up the crate and breathes a sigh of relief. Finally, our prisoners, honey. We were almost out. I can't thank you enough, but I can pay you for your troubles. That's a great way to thank me. Also, I don't think the game has told us anything about prisoners, honey, yet, but, there was, Isolan posted some stuff about prisoners, honey in the comments a couple episodes ago, I think. So I do sort of know what it is. It's a very interesting thing. I recommend that you go back and read that comment if you haven't already. There's a lot of weird lore in this universe. I guess they've been building it up for years, right? Because this is it's all in the same universe and continuity as not just Sunless Sea, or Sunless Seas, but also their Fallen London game. So fiction has a way of getting huge and strange when allowed to develop over many iterations. It's part of what I love about comic books, actually. Okay, let us return to the amenable host. We have some news for him, although I'm not sure exactly what it is we're going to say just yet. The amenable host, as always, reclines on a couch of crushed velvet, a goblet of sparkling wine in his long fingers. Somewhere in the tower above him, the great clock ticks away. What will we tell him? The amenable host closes his hands around his returned locket. Now it comes to it, I'm not sure I want to know, but I've sent you out. He drums his fingers against his cup. We don't spare our guests the truth, so why should I be any different? He fills goblets for you both. Well, out with it. Perhaps he is the person who was shot dead on the mountain in Lustrum and survived. Perhaps he was a strike-breaking factory owner, now reformed, which is good, because I have a feeling that if he was not reformed, we would not associate with such a person. Or perhaps he continued the work of the Parlor of Virtue on Port Prosper? Or we could just tell him the truth. It's interesting that there's two different options that both say tell the truth on them. I guess the truth in this matter is somewhat vague, a little complicated. Our character is not, I think, an overly honest person, certainly not as honest even as I am. Would I be willing... But mostly I lie for my own benefit, right? Like when we lied to the staff at the facility in order to get out of it. I don't know that I think that I know what's good for him enough to know which lie he would need to hear. So let's just tell him the truth. Let's tell him this truth. Which would he prefer to have been? He gazes at you for a long, solemn minute. Abruptly, he stands and removes 2 polished glasses and a filled decanter from a box in the wall. He places one glass before you and fills it deep. I still have the drink you just poured for me. I suppose I should commend your nerve in giving me that answer. He fills his own glass and finishes it in one swift swig. My own self, cindered ash in the kiln of my ambition. He gives you a crooked smile. So goes the teaching of Magdalen's. He goes to a drawer and takes out a sealed envelope. For all your trouble, I am who I have chosen to be. I have that, at least. I mean, that's sort of all any of us have, really. I do love 500 sovereigns. Okay, so we have now earned the amenable host's favor, and we're permitted to socialize with the attendants and observe behind-the-scenes life at Magdalen's. That sounds like it could be fascinating. There are always jealous glares when someone parts the violet curtain that keeps the attendants' private space from their work. Backstage, relaxed chatter and the scratchy sounds of music over the gramophone fill the air. Clouds of powdered makeup and tobacco wash over you, mixed with lavender perfume. Let's share a drink with one of the workers. Unwinding after a guest is a necessity of life at Magdalen's. You know, I bet this work is actually, like, really intellectually and emotionally exhausting. A beautiful attendant provides you with as much sherry as you could ever ask for. It soon becomes apparent they are looking for as much information on skyfaring as they're able. You give as much as time and sherry allow. A crewman returns to your locomotive. Their eyes are red, but they can't seem to stop smiling. Well, I'm glad they found what they're looking for, I guess. So we can share... Is sharing a drink again going to give us the same text? No, okay. Glasses gleam in mellow candlelight. A party is being prepared. No customers allowed. Quiet weeping can be heard echoing through the glass corridors. Okay, let's help an attendant prepare for work. I'm going to make myself useful here until an opportunity reveals itself, I guess. There are lines to rehearse, briefs to digest, accents to perfect. The face powder the attendant is using is cloying. He flexes his shoulders, cracking each knuckle in his hands. The pay was worse in the parlor, but the work easier. I don't know how many more long-lost sons I've got in me. A mourner wanders past, clad in outdated black silk. She is recreating her husband's funeral today. She is smiling. Huh. Well, I don't think we have whatever it is that we... Whatever opportunity is available here, we don't have the thing necessary to see it. But it's good, I suppose, in a general sense, to have earned the favor of the amenable host. Seems like a powerful dude. Let's stop by the Keepsake Market, I guess. So we could purchase an old journal with 60 of our sovereigns. That actually seems very fine to me. What is this? What does this give us? A savage secret. Okay. The nurses hand over your new purchase, warning you not to tell anyone where you found it. They add that there will likely be more offers like this very soon. Not a thing we needed, it turns out. So I guess with that, we're sort of done here, huh? We return to the host and just see if we have any new conversational options with him. We do not. Perhaps not. Sorry to have wasted your time. Okay. The bazaar. Well, that's a pretty good price for seeds. There is, of course, the concern that I have limited cargo space and I maybe don't want to just fill it up with garbage. And the seeds don't sell that well. This is a pretty small profit. But it is a profit. The thing is, like, the thing I'm worried about is, like, what if we find access to 5 things of literature? I would totally like to be able to take those on. I think I'm gonna not buy these seeds. Let's maintain the cargo space for now. And we don't really have a desperate need for anything. I guess we could buy... Yeah, you know what? Let's go back up to 4 supplies. I feel very secure with these amounts. So we'll get the Hybris report. At some point, we're going to go back and turn in these reports. Obviously, I'm not in a big hurry. So we can just fly past the rat. One benefit of flying past the rat is that it gives us an excuse to travel here and reveal the rest of this stuff, although we know there's nothing terribly important in this little corridor. Another excuse is that I wonder if the Rat Brigade will have anything adorable to say about it. They also were trying to go to Perderance, right? So we're not able to move a lot of these quests forward right at the moment. Oh, interesting. A caddy of tea. It takes 2 tea to move this plot forward, right? Yeah, okay. We'll just hold on to it. Boy, that's a lot of tea. That dude is a voracious drinker. You know what I'm realizing? I'm just thinking about barbecue again, which I extremely want now, and unfortunately have no way of getting because it's the middle of the night. And surprise, surprise, I lack the tools to create proper barbecue in my apartment. There's that Australian phrase that everybody says in that terrible accent about throwing shrimp on the barbie. I don't know what Australian barbecue is like. I don't know if it's more like British or more like American. If you are a person who has an answer to that question, feel free to enlighten me in the comments below, especially since I will doubtless forget to look it up by the time the episode's over. There's no way this will still be in my head. Alright, let's swing by the memorial to the unknown rat, lower our terror a little bit. One by one, your crew remove their hats. That's, like, really sweet, actually. Here, we want to go around the north side of this. I think we could have just hung out there and let it leech all of our terror out. Whatever, I'm not too worried about it. It probably doesn't remove all of your terror. Like, not to an unlimited degree. That would be very powerful. Alright, we definitely have enough fuel and supplies that we can afford to just go exploring here. I figure we still have to find that well, but we can probably do that when we're headed back to the nature reserve, and we want to do that after we go to Hybris, right? Because we need some Hybris pus, whatever exactly that turns out to be. I think he really, really didn't like that. Turn, turn, turn. Okay, ooh. Come on. That was by far the cleanest fight we've ever had. Well, let's explore the captain's cabin. We have room for some unusual items, and we now have enough iron to always succeed at this. Okay, gossip. Very useful. We got 2 of it. That's actually, like, really great. So now we will be able to do basically whatever needs to be done at Port Avon. Also, I mean, I'm sure there's other things we might use this gossip for. It's nice to just have a supply of knowledge without a purpose that it needs to immediately go to. So I feel like we will be in position to handle anything that comes up. Alright, can we interact with this homestead? We can. This is not one of those ones that has to be essayed. I'm extremely good at mirrors. Really, really good at searching homesteads. Hey, free supplies. You find bottles of homemade wine in the cellar, pots of meat pickling under the soil by the doorstep, and salvageable tools in an overgrown shed. Not bad at all. Okay, sorry, we're still going this way a little bit. A lot of marauders out here. Oh, that's an explorer, never mind. Got him. I did fire our weapons while we were overheated, which does some damage to the hull. I could just repair the hull damage, especially since we don't really need a Sky Story or a Tale of Terror, and we certainly don't need to roll the dice in a way that could add to our terror. We'll just repair the damage I did to our hull foolishly there. Jeez. This is non-stop out here. Aw. Marauders embarking on a raid. Oh, we've stumbled upon a proper raid, have we? That is just a huge amount of damage. That's so good. So, a small amount of sovereigns? No thanks. Let's explore the captain's cabin. Probably we're just going to get more gossip. At this point, when we kill this guy, I probably will just take the sovereigns, because we really don't need more gossip. Ah, you fool. You fell for my brilliant trap, which was basically just having incompetent enemies. Oh, he's trying to execute the same maneuver I am, but I think my turning radius is a little better than his. Okay, well, yeah, I think we're just going to take the sovereigns this time. We don't need any more secrets. Seems like a strange thing to say, but I think it's actually true here. Okay, so we're going to just head this way. Old piping, grizzled with moss, juts from the undergrowth. This was London's first attempt to build New Winchester. It failed, as you might suspect, from looking at it. So this is just like Marauder base, which we do not seem to be able to affect in any way. I mean, this would be like shooting at a tank with a pistol, right? Not a lot of value in it. Boy, it looks like there may not be an easy way northward, though, huh? Well, I guess we'll keep going this way. We're at least headed into a big unexplored area. So worst case scenario here, we learn a whole bunch of stuff. No, I guess worst case scenario, we die. I will do my best to avoid it. Okay, even more munitions. Also, lots of angry guys. If I can get them to crash into each other. Nope, not quite. The alternative diplomacy. I'll just scavenge that real quick. You know what? Maybe I should have not done this. I should have waited until we took some damage in combat, and then we could have scavenged hull off of it. Ah, whatever. Let's try to enter through the shattered windscreens. We have succeeded. Nobody look at the crew. The floor of the bridge is carpeted with glass fragments. It shines like stars in your lamplight, and tinkles like bells when your boots brush it. A sky chest nailed to the floor at the back of the bridge yields to your efforts. Fragile contents. Oh, man. Pane of glass? Pane of glass? No. A set of golden scales slides out of the knife-open box. It takes 3 of you to lift, 6 to carry. Lapis lazuli shines in the base. Complex diagrams of constellations circle the pans like the rings of planets. Weird. It's some kind of strange orrery, I guess? It's a word that I find remarkably difficult to say. Oh, God. Nope, don't ram me. I'm trying to just run, if that's not clear, but the Starman Explorer really moves. Okay. This is not a place that I can actually run to. That doesn't go anywhere. Oh, man, I do not want to be driving directly toward him because of that charge maneuver he does. Okay. Not that I think we definitely couldn't win that fight, but I do think it would be risky. This one Marauder has maybe, I can't actually see what the text is. Oh, our crew does not like being here. That makes sense. I can see why they wouldn't. Ah, that's a shame. That hit definitely would have been lethal. Okay, I fired a little bit prematurely there, but it was such a good setup. Let's just gain sovereigns again. Sometimes that gain unusual items option does get us something else. And maybe I should be taking it, because the amount of sovereigns we get for the other option is really low. But man, oh man, do we not need more gossip right at this moment. Man, maybe there's not a way around here to Hybris at all. We're pretty far from it at this point. Ow. Shoot. Okay, you suck. We definitely are going to have to repair our hull if that's an option. Yep. Strip the engine for materials. Alright, 29's not bad. You know, one thing I did not really look at with those other locomotives in the shop was whether or not they have more hull. Because that would definitely be useful. Alright, I'm going to send the bat out. We are in uncharted territory. I would hate to miss out on treasure. Okay, well the bat discovered something all the way down there. That's not really that helpful. Also, remarkably fast flyer to get there and back to the train in that amount of time. Try again. Okay, that's pretty far away, but I'm interested. And we should map the area anyway, right? Oh, jeez. This place is super gross. And our terror levels are climbing up already. So where was that? That's like way out of the way. We're probably going to have to do one of these. Well, let's go to Hybris first and see if they're selling fuel and supplies, and then we can decide whether it's worth trying to go for that. Because that is way out there on the edge of nothing. Oh, hey. Well, let's see if we can kill it. Good start. Ow. Those guys do hit hard. Oh, I hit the train wreckage. Shoot. Oh, get away, get away. Ah. Okay, we didn't take too much damage from that. That attack might do damage based on your proximity. Yeah, it certainly did more damage that time. What am I doing? That's a terrible shot. Wow, a terrible shot that he almost walked into, though. Ow. So I'm going to try to get over there and use the, okay, whew. Use the train here to scavenge some hull real quick. Please let me, please let me. No. Well, definitely mourn the dead. We could use the terror reduction. Oh boy, do I not have time for you right at this moment. Where's the harbor? Hey, that was a pretty good shot. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm trying to draw him over to us a little bit. I don't want to outrun him by too much. We could use him to generate some hull points, possibly. Ah, this is what I was hoping for, that they would fight. Hold up, let's back off a little bit. See if the Marauder will turn around and attack him. Oh, it seems to be. Seems to be a little confused. Also, kind of can't tell who it wants to go after. Here we go, here we go. Get him. Get him and I let you live. That's the deal. Man, thing is slippery. I'm not shooting at you. Same team. temporarily. Well, this will hit one of them. I actually don't know if that hit him or if it just burst in the air before it got to him. Ow. It's not going to get there. Well, I'm having a hell of a time at this. Alright, let's try to finish off the Marauder. Oop, bad time to slow down. Okay. It's just really hard to shoot people with these weapons at long range. I must look like I'm drunk or something. I swear to you, every move that I'm making seems like a good idea to me as I'm making it. I want to be moving, yeah, laterally to his facing. Alright. Killed him. I'm going to go in and see if we can scavenge some hull here. Oh, thank God. Okay. Let us fight on. Seems like the dude has lost vision of us. That was the sound of him remembering that I'm here. God, he is so hard to hit. It'd be easier if we were closer, but then, you know, we can't be too close. Okay, I think that impacted on the train wreckage, which sucks. That was a direct hit. That was clean. I threaded the needle there, but I'm not sure if I actually made contact. I would love to fight him away from all this wreckage. No, 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 no! Oh my God! Actually, it just didn't do very much damage that time. What is going... Guys, really? Right now? An engineer cries out, her voice hoarse as a professional mourner. It's gone! She points through one of the stained-glass windows. A star! It winked out! You look through the glass. Stars burn upon the firmament. The specific patch of sky she's pointing to is indeed empty, but you couldn't say if a star had been there before. Well, we could dispense an additional ration of brandy, or we could try to talk her out of being freaked out. We're not great at that. We're not super great on the supplies either, and if there's not anything to buy at Hybris, we could find ourselves in bad shape here. I guess we'll set a watch? If you organized a rota of observers, would you see it happen? But it will mean exposing the watchers to the star's perilous light. Ooh, we can't afford to lose a lot of crew right now either. I'm going to try to just make a joke of it. Nope, okay, it was basically a coin flip, right? Gain 5 terror. I know what I saw, she mutters sullenly. Another speaks up for her. I seen it too one time, they add. Stars are dying. Okay, that's totally actually possible, right? There's some weird stuff going on in this world. Okay, that was worth something. I would love to hew, but what I would love more is to conclude this battle victoriously. Oh, there's another one! That's not good for us at all. And we do not have infinite supplies here. I'm trying to... Oop. Gun just completely did not fire when I clicked there. Not sure what's up with that. Also, that sucks that he led me so effectively. Okay, well, we can't go to Hybris. Because I can't get past them now. Now there's 2 of them. Unless they're going to fight? Nope, they're not fighting. They're going to chase me, it looks like. Okay. We could go down to Polmir and Plenty's, I guess, and try to refill. And basically what I've learned is that these things are functionally immortal. Part of the problem is I don't know how I would know if it was dying anyway. Like, we know what to look for. Yeah, my gun doesn't always fire now. Okay. Well, we're dead if we get hit again. Okay. Got my hands on the dodge buttons. He's dedicated. Don't suppose you could just forget about me and go back to your friend? Please? 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 I think I just heard an explosion. Yep, that's gunfire. Well, Christ, this is bad. So they just never give up then. The other one gave up. Seems like they're not that great at leading at this range, at least. Oh, is that him veering off? I think it is. Okay, he chased us all the way back here. We could try to make it back to Carillon, where we are liked and respected. Or we could make it back to Polmir and Plenty's. The thing about Carillon is I'm not 100% certain that there is a route through here. This could be closed, right? Yeah, we know we can go to Polmir and Plenty's. Although... no, we don't have to go back across the battle site to get there. Okay, I think that's the move then. Oh god, I think he still might be following us. And I just really don't have time for you right now. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's working in our favor. We got enough enemies that maybe they'll distract each other. Oh god, I'm so injured. Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to kill one of those things. We hit it a bunch, and it did not show any signs of even caring about the fact that I was shooting it. Boy, our enemies sure are persistent lately. Discontent. This is not the time. So it's the same thing. Trying to make a joke again? No, I'm bad at jokes. I should not joke. Okay, those guys give up a little bit more easily. Our fuel is low. You're not wrong about that one. Let's hope that the question mark that we're headed toward that our bat found earlier is something useful to us. If it's a train wreck, I'm not going to search it. Because we really can't afford to accidentally spawn a star-maddened explorer right now. Okay, we just got to make it back to Polmir and Plenty's. Really, what we have to do is make it back to New Winchester, but I'm hoping that Polmir and Plenty's will sell us some supplies or give us a little bit of repairs that will help us make it back safely. Yeah, that got really dangerous. Like, really quickly. And also, I'm totally miserable now. Well, we can at least write a port report here as well. I enjoy a good circus. Lost souls at bargain prices. Alright, buddy. Dude's really into ICP or something. There's sort of a weird association of darkness with circuses, though. I wonder where that comes from. Oh, thank God. A traveling circus has settled here. New arrivals, huh? A fire burns by the obelisk where newcomers mingle. Let us listen to their stories. None of them seem to know what drew them here, save that they had nowhere else they knew they should be. They trade stories and the last of the liquor from their flasks, finding solace here for reasons that even they can't seem to explain. Who were they before they were called here? Tales of life and loss, the broken, the disavowed, the fugitives. Every visitor has their story, or has their own story, and a hole in their heart. A few demonstrate acts with which they hope to join the circus itself. Others talk of their plans to leave this place and resume their lives. Not today, but tomorrow. Or the day after that, perhaps. Okay, well, a little bit of terror reduction is nice. Let's check out the shops. So they want that literature. They want 5 barrels of ours. They are selling shot and shell. I don't remember exactly what this stuff sells for, but it's a bargain, and we're almost certainly headed back to New Winchester anyway, so may as well fill up. And there's bronze wood and supplies, but no fuel. I think we have enough fuel to make it back to New Winchester. I certainly hope so. Alright, what else is there to do at the circus itself? We can purchase some more tickets. We'll certainly write a report. No question about that. And then... I'm definitely not allowed back there. They don't know me well enough. Yeah, let's buy some more tickets. I'm certainly not low on money now. The urchin hands over your tickets with no apparent enthusiasm. Okay. Let's visit the amusements, attend some performances, you know, get familiar. I do not want to recruit crew from the circus because I'm terrible at it. What wonders await you this evening? The tent is barely any more populated than the last show. The ringmaster does his best, fixing a wide grin under his mustache as he introduces what passes for the acts. The humiliated magician's attempt to saw his assistant in half comes to an unfortunate end. High above, the bereaved acrobat again performs their half of the routine for a tiny amount of applause. Afterward, the pensive clown trips into the spotlight, dropping the balls he juggles. It's silent enough to hear them hit the floor. It ends when the headstrong strong woman lifts a very large barbell over her head. She repeats this several times when the crowd's reaction isn't as enthusiastic as she'd have liked. The show ends with a smattering of reluctant applause. Okay, so we did not gain any sky stories or any visions of the heavens, but we are becoming more familiar. That's a currency unto itself. Let's visit the amusements here. Most of the stalls here are empty, their owners either asleep or long since gone. You gamely make the most of them, from the Hall of Mirror to the Whack-A-Rat game currently closed due to the rats having unionized. At least the day proves quiet with nothing actively trying to kill you. Yeah, that's something. The circus staff have learned my name. Well, let's speak to the ringmaster. Maybe he'll have some problems we could help him out with. The ringmaster looks relieved to see a familiar face. Oh, thank God. We've got a show to put on, and one of my biggest acts is throwing a tantrum. No. He pauses, toying with his exquisitely managed mustache as he looks you up and down. I don't suppose you've ever considered stepping into the ring yourself? Boy, what would I be good at? I don't think our character would make much of a clown. Do you think lion taming is as dangerous as it seems like it must be? I mean, they probably don't have a very ferocious lion as far as lions go, but even a bad lion is still, I really don't think we'd make much of an acrobat. Can I study? Do you have a way that I could, study? I could regale them with stories. We probably know a lot of weird tales. I could do that as a clown. That's a thing you can do as a clown. I'm going to click this button. Dressed in motley and with a grease paint face, you do your best to entertain. The audience laughs at your pratfalls, some of them even deliberate. Afterwards, the ringmaster claps you on the shoulder. Excellent! Well, terrible, never do that again. But please, come and see me behind the tents. Okay, we tried. I was trying to help people out. That's my thing now. We're trying to help people. Alright, what do you got? What do you want? Beyond the performers and the permanent audience, the circus is deserted. Everyone keeps to their quarters unless they're practicing the show. Despite the calliope music, the mood back here is closer to that of a mausoleum. Well, it looks like we get to talk to everybody. We get to just, do all kinds of cool stuff now. Let's start at the top. Visit the ringmaster's caravan. The door is open. From inside, you can hear the constant ruffling of a deck of cards. The ringmaster is sat on a fat cushion, idly shuffling a worn pack of playing cards. He smiles wearily at you. I asked the cards about you. He draws from the top of the deck and sets them on the table. They say you can help. He then places them back into the deck and bids you shuffle and draw for yourself. The cards are the same. He smiles the same weary smile. Looks like they haven't changed their minds. I tried to learn trick shuffling and stuff because I thought that would be a cool thing to be able to do. Turns out, although I have large hands with very long fingers, which theoretically ought to be good for that thing, somehow, years and years of playing video games has not gifted me with the manual dexterity to be able to perform any of that stuff. So, we could accept a commission to repair the magician's props. Hey, we're kind of handy. That might be a thing we're good at. To reclaim the acrobat's twin. One of them has run away. Again, the ringmaster huffs. Or purchase a costume for the clown. Hey, what we have is money. Costumes are not for the clown, but for his pet geese, Cuddles and Ruffles. He's not funny without them, confides the ringmaster. Well, that seems doable, but who knows where they'll send me to get the costumes. Or a commission to post flyers for the strong woman. Ideally, the strong woman's act is to lift unusual objects brought in by the crowd. Problem is, no one knows they're supposed to bring something. I'll accept this commission. I'll do this. The ringmaster leans under his desk to pick up a fat bundle of posters. He drops them with a thud. We need these slapped all across Port Prosper and Magdalene's. Oh, I should have known they were going to send me to Port Prosper. Of course that's where they'd want them, because that's where all the travelers come in from. Well, that's distant. Let's have a quick chat with everybody. The humiliated magician leans beneath a faded poster of himself, smoking a cheap, malodorous tobacco. It breaks my heart you had to sit through that, he says, nodding toward the big top. Sometimes I wonder why I left Mahogany Hall. Then I remember how much Plenty paid before this place lost its funding. He puts out the cigarette on the poster, then tosses it into an overturned top hat. That's it, huh? Alright. Talk to the acrobat. Their tent is larger than the others. The flap is tied open for visitors. They half raise themselves from their deep cushions in greeting and bid you sit across from them. They ask how you enjoyed the show, and before you can answer, they apologize for their performance. Well, I'm nothing by myself, they say. Without my twin there to catch me, or there to leap for me to catch, it's quite dull. But they're trying to break themselves from the circus again. Okay, what about the clown? His head is bowed, his bald dome shines in the lantern light. If you ignore the grease paint, he looks not unlike the bust of a Grecian philosopher. The clown rubs the back of his head. It's troubling to me that the show goes on even if there's no one there to watch it. He looks to you searchingly. What does he expect you to say? Boy, this is rough. Talk to the headstrong strong woman. If she isn't performing her training, she tends to keep inside her caravan. She welcomes you to her caravan and begs your pardon for the mess. For though the caravan is a remarkable oasis of cleanliness in the otherwise untidy port, the only other seat she can offer is stacked with poems. She places them beneath her own chair and begins to ask you questions about your life. Any inquiries into her own she deflects with the wit of a slighted baroness. Probably the ringmaster will not... I'm assuming we have to do one job at a time, right? The ringmaster stands and shakes your hand as you enter. He is rather short, now he isn't standing on top of a calliope. He wags his finger at you. I've been in this business long enough to know what you're thinking, he says sternly. It's the shoes. I have a special pair to make me look tall. He laughs and bids you sit to enjoy a pot of tea with him. No terror reduction from that. It must be very bad tea. Let's just wander into the big top. There's no performance on. We'll just hang out in there for a while, I guess. The echoing silence of the empty tent is undercut by something just out of earshot. A buzzing, almost. You travel to the giant obelisk to one side of the port. The noise, the sensation, only gets louder. The obelisk is covered with giant, indecipherable symbols, and as you touch it, you being here feels right on some deep, primal level. All thoughts of travel melt away. There is a place for you here, where you're meant to be among the grease paint and the sawdust. You quickly pull your hand away. The itch recedes. Oh, well that's very interesting and terrifying. It feels like we could tell them that the obelisk is... I mean, how would I explain that? And also, would they be willing to hear it? Who knows what it's done to their minds? Well, visiting the amusements again probably will not give us anything of value. So I guess we're just done here for now. You know what? Let's try to make it back to New Winchester right now. I don't want to start the next episode by maybe just running out of fuel. So what we need to do is pretty much just head south, as directly south as possible. The fuel doesn't burn super fast. I think we probably have time. We got to make sure not to encounter or crash into anything on the way there. Oh my god, a Tackety could so easily accidentally kill me. We'll just keep a big rock between me and him. Boy, what is that sound? It sounds like something straining or... Ugh. Gross. What it sounds like is gross. Alright, let's just get back to New Winchester. I'm feeling absolutely terrible about how everything is going here. Oh yeah, we definitely have enough fuel to make it back, but I have to be really careful. We have low enough hull that I probably could die by crashing into the port. So, let's take this a little bit slowly. Even more discontent. Well, this would not be a terrible time to jettison supplies. We could do that. A junior signaler receives a dose of medicinal port in the infirmary after seeing a frozen corpse spin past a window. The experience has shaken him. "The dead are hungry," he says. "We need to make an offering or it'll come back knocking at the hull." Well, we could jettison some supplies. Reprimand him, double back for the corpse and loot it, which would cost 2 fuel. Really, wow. Or we could recover the body and transport it for burial. It will be poor company, but it is what you'd want to happen if you were found dead in the sky. So this would gain us a nightmare. This bar around the bottom of the terror meter is the nightmares. I don't know exactly what it means. It seems like you don't want those, though. Here, I'm willing to jettison a crate of supplies. The rations spin away into the stellar mists. You will mourn the biscuits. Some of them had chocolate on. Yeah, I bet chocolate's kind of hard to come by out here. Alright, cautiously making a stop here at Port Victory. Getting very paid. Trying very hard not to crash. Maybe a little too cautiously. Alright, I doubt we'll have much to do here aside from delivering our reports. 500 sovereigns, even more fortunes for the Tackities. You know, we're pushing that number up. We don't really need... we could trade favor to affect the balance of power in the Reach, I suppose. We are trying to push the Tackity war effort forward, aren't we? Because that might be the deed that we use to advance our ambition. Sure. Indrid Veteran leads you to her office. It is paneled with bronzewood. A painting from the old world. I think we actually read this already. When London comes, it'll take a nation to stand against her. So we traded our gratitude for 10 reputation and 5 fortunes. That seems alright. So we're actually pretty close to 100. I'm curious what will happen when we get there. And there's nothing to buy here. Okay. Let us move on. It is nice to have all this money. I feel very secure in a way that I wasn't feeling secure in the earlier episodes. Even when we are in a position like this where we don't necessarily have a ton of fuel or supplies. Because I know all we have to do is make it back to port and everything's going to be okay. Ooh, okay. Oh, what's this now? New Winchester is in uproar. Crowds of boisterous Tackities stamp through the streets in their hobnail boots. In Kisagar Gardens, they are burning piles of top hats. That's, okay, symbolically significant, but also kind of a dumb thing to spend your time doing. The Windward Company, whose fortunes have suffered recently, has abandoned the port. Oh. Wow, I thought we were going to have to push one of those values up to 100, but apparently not. Ousted. They must have been preparing the evacuation for some time. Company House was emptied almost overnight. The Tackities have the upper hand in the Reach now, and the company has withdrawn much of its strength to fortify its holdings at Port Prosper. If you want to deal with the stovepipes, you'll need to seek them there. You know, that works just fine for me. This change in the balance of power will affect encounters, discoveries, bargains, and prospects in the Reach. For example, the Tackities' redoubled spirit means you will encounter more homesteads while exploring. Okay, cool. Please repair my locomotive. Lost 84 sovereigns, and it was worth every single one of them. Alright, let's definitely stop by the market and purchase ourselves a whole bunch of fuel. 5 fuel is too much. Wait, what is in my hold right now? Oh, we have like a huge amount of munitions, that's right. We need 3. Right? Am I remembering this right? Yeah, and I don't... That goes to Port Prosper. We don't need any munitions for any quests or anything, do we? Was I misremembering? We got to take a thing to Hybris. We got to kill a chorister and a scribe spinster. Seems very difficult to do. You we are ignoring. You are going to Hybris. Okay, yeah, we do not need any more Carefully packed crates. So we can sell 4 of these. We can sell... What else did I buy something else? No, it was just munitions that I purchased. Okay. Yeah, we'll sell off the extra munitions. I want to hold on to the nectar. Yeah, okay. So now we can afford to buy some fuel and not run out of space immediately here. And then I'm just curious. I need to go to the engine yard. So 50 hull. That the train we were thinking about has 50 hull. That would be really nice, actually. Okay, we're getting to the point where like it's not completely out of the realm of reason for us to acquire 3,500 sovereigns. We could totally get that. So we don't have any other really important stuff to do, but let's explore the city real quick here. I'm curious how things have changed with the Winchester War. The slow-burning war for the Reach forms the backdrop to daily life in New Winchester. Citizens wishing to keep up with the developments in the war turn to the New Gazette. It is, famously, the only paper worth reading in New Winchester, as well as the only paper that hasn't bankrupted itself. Its quality speaks for itself. Also, the text. So, we can check our reputation with the factions who currently controls the Reach. I mean, I feel like we know that. Learn about recent developments? The New Gazette is proud to stand alongside Victory Hall in this hour of the Assembly's triumph. We were never in any doubt as to the ability of the brave Tackety troops to quell the riots and retain control over the capital. We look forward to a new era of peace in New Winchester, and caution the Assembly to be magnanimous in victory, lest they stoke the flames of new conflicts in the ashes of the defeated. Yeah, I think that's going to happen no matter how they feel about it. So, maybe we ought to swing back by Victory Hall. Maybe we could acquire some reward for all of our hard work. But that sounds like a real next time sort of thing. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we maybe get crowned the hero of the Tacketies and try one more time to reach Hybris without getting destroyed by space ghosts. And we'll see you then.